Hello and good morning. All right, I had to make sure my YouTube stuff was turned off before I talk too much, get an echo. Hello and welcome. Let's see who we have here. We got Ark Wildman Survival. Thanks for coming in. The Milkmaid, Jujubee. Thank you all for showing up this morning. This morning we are going to make blueberry and strawberry crepes. That's all right. I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for some more people to come in. Hopefully we'll get some more in here. The stream says there's 6 people in here. So hello to all, and I hope you're having a good morning. How's everybody doing? The Milkmaid, you made me chuckle this morning when I read your comment. If I could make keto crepes, I bet you my husband would keep me for another 20 years. I laughed so hard when I read that this morning. I'm not awake yet either. I'm tongue twisted still. I need to get dressed, and I'm thinking I'll make keto breakfast sandwiches. That means leaving my bed. Yeah. Some mornings you just don't feel like leaving the bed or getting up and making breakfast. But it helps when I do lives and cook breakfast with you all. It gets me motivated. I shouldn't have gone to bed earlier. Heading to grab some coffee. Yum. Sounds good. Hey, Stars Prepper. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're good this morning. It is going to be a beautiful day. I agree. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to pop in and we'll get started. This is going to be a super simple, easy, quick breakfast. This recipe calls for 2 eggs, a couple tablespoons or so of cream cheese, some salt, stevia, strawberries, and blueberries, or whatever berry you want to use. It doesn't matter. Hey, Howie at Food Force Permaculture. How are you doing this morning? That's all right, Howie. I'm only human. My phone loads your comments faster than the actual stream. My cat must be thirsty. She's slurping up some water over there. I'll have to go back and edit that later, Howie. It's all right. It's all good. All right, let's get this started. Is anybody going to be cooking along with me? Hey, Gemma. Thanks for popping in. It's good to see you. I'm going to take my phone along with me so hopefully I can read the comments as I am cooking. And if anybody wants to hop up on the live stream, they are more than welcome as long as you're respectful and show your face. If somebody does decide to jump on the panel, that'll help me out because you can read the comments out loud while I am cooking. If not, that's cool too. Love you too, Gemma. There's a StreamYard link if anybody wants to hop up and chit chat this morning. I'm stepping all over my cat. Like I said, this is going to be super quick, super simple, easy to do. It's just 2 eggs. what I'm using to mix this up is my immersion blender, but you can use a mixer, you can use a blender, you can use a hand mixer, you can use whatever you want, or do it by hand. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of stevia into that, about a tablespoon of cream cheese. We'll do a teaspoon of cinnamon. If I can get it open. Thank you, Gemma, for sharing me out. I appreciate that. If anybody else can share me out, that would be amazing. Hit that like button. Milkmaid. I'm sure you wake up beautifully. Hello,
Hey, Jess.
hello. How are you doing?
Oh, loving myself.
Hey, that's awesome.
Good to see you, Jess.
You too. Oh, you guys can't even see me. I didn't even realize you couldn't see me.
The camera's a little low. You gotta bring it up a little bit. There you go. Now you're. Wow, you have your pans and pots on the wall. I do too.
Yeah.
Easy to grab them, hey?
Yeah. Easy to put away too. And I don't have to bend.
So the milkmaid is saying, I'm just rolling out of bed, not fit for viewing, laughed out loud. I'm scared. I'd scare everyone away.
I don't believe that. I don't think that's true at all.
No, be intuitive, right? In the Bible, Jesus said, "You are your own best physician."
Yes.
When I'm around doctors, I tell them my body is my best doctor.
Yep.
It tells me what to do.
I agree 100% with that.
Eat keto.
So I just put a pinch of salt in here, and I'm going to mute myself so you don't have to hear the immersion blender go crazy.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I'll just,
keto is your traditional diet, hey, and that's what you should be doing. So we won't hear you anymore now, but you're muting that. But I don't think that would have any effect on your quality of the video. What you're doing, I run my juicer. I mean, that thing has twin gears. I mean, it's like a ball bearing factory going. And I have what I do is I keep it away and I turn the camera a little bit away with the volume, a little bit away from the direction of the noise, and it seems to work really good. But you have Abby's Life on the Farm saying hello. Gemma's Journey Grace shared it out. She's like the best. Christopher Heduck, who's from Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. Gemma's Journey Grace. Hey, namaste. You get 2 hugs, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, how is that going?
Well, Gemma, you?
Good. I've been up since 5 a.m. So it's sunny outside, so it's all good.
Yeah, I've been up a while too. I've been up since 3:30 a.m. and it's 4:41 a.m. here now.
Wow, early.
You look tired. You're like, oh,
I'm not tired. I've got a bit of a headache, but it's fine. I usually get around 3 and a bit hours sleep, but I was a bit naughty. I didn't go to bed until sleep, bed, whatever I want to call it. I didn't get to bed until about 2:30 this morning because I was on a phone call to another Canadian YouTuber who I speak to. And by the time I got off that, it was like 3:15. I'm like, okay, I need at least 2 hours before I get back up. So I managed to have about 2 and a bit hours, but yeah.
Well, you're here, and
I'm here. I'm woohoo, bushy-tailed.
You know, your headache there is if you love yourself a lot more, that your body will listen to you and go away, headache.
Yeah, it's like that and drinking water, which seems to help flush it out. So I've been drinking a lot of water this morning.
Water with electrolytes.
Yeah, I was going to say electrolytes for sure.
Yeah. We have to be intuitive to our bodies and listen to our body. Our body's our doctor, and that tells us what we need. And we need to get on our traditional diet, which keto is my traditional diet of eating meat and vegetables and lettuce, but you know, have a high wild game diet for myself, or free range beef or free range chicken. That's what your traditional diet is, and then your body will start healing itself. It's the gut biome. You probably know a lot about that, Jess.
Oh, yeah.
The gut biome. And I just received, it's called Peak Bio Boost.
Nice.
I just got it from my orthomolecular practitioner. God love her. Oh.
Gut health is the most important thing to your overall health.
Yeah. You cut out gluten. Get rid of the gluten. It's an undigestible protein. And the major cause of headaches is water absorption. It's not that you don't drink enough water, you most likely do, but you're not absorbing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have the right gut biome, and you can look it up, Dr. Mark Hyman released a video in 2019, and he interviewed a doctor that was with traditional medicine, but with traditional medicine, they go with what they're taught. They don't listen to your body and what you're saying. They're going with what they've been programmed with.
Yeah.
So that was really neat listening to his video and his interview of I forget the lady, but she had migraines, terrible migraines, and her daughter would scream all night. And the big thing is, I know this is going to sound weird, but there was I don't know how to say it, but she brought in a shaman that brought out there was a bad vibe in the room.
Yeah.
And she burned white sage in the room, and it put a calming effect on her electrons in her body. And she was able to be intuitive, and her daughter stopped screaming with headaches all night long. And then the headaches went away because they were absorbing. And what it scientifically, if you look at it, is hormones are present. The guy that owned the house didn't want to leave the house, so he left these hormones that he hated the world. So they were absorbing those hormones. And it was very interesting. And she went back to her traditional diet of fish and meat, and having low carbohydrates, low sugar. And she went with her traditional meat and fish diet, and she healed up. And she was a doctor, but she was trying to heal herself with conventional medicine. But when she would go and see all these different doctors, she realized one thing, that she already knew everything of what they were taught. She had to be intuitive and learn her own body, what it was telling her. Yeah,
I think that's the problem. We don't, and I think part of my headache was obviously I'm meant to be wearing my glasses, and I've not been wearing them all the time. So now I've got my glasses back on. Hopefully my headache will disappear. So
well, you look very teacherish. You're ready to fight. That's what I love about Gemma. She has this living spirit that's beautiful.
I keep getting told that. I got called. I was on a live stream yesterday, and someone called me a librarian, and I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Okay."
That's awesome. I'd love to hear that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like,
I want to say hi to a couple of people that's popping in here real quick. Abby's Life, hello and welcome. Peter Dell, thank you for coming in. Christopher from Essex, good morning. And Ark Wildman, thanks for coming back. All right.
Hey, what are we eating this morning, Jess?
We are doing strawberry blueberry crepes. I know.
That sounds yummy.
I should have known crepes. Crepes. I'm looking at it. It said Crippets, and I'm like,
I
what's
know I
Crippets?
spelled it
Oh,
wrong.
Oh, you're not. I'm a terrible speller.
in
I
the
am.
UK,
I'll admit it.
in the UK we pronounce them crepes.
Uh-huh.
Crap. Yeah. A creep in French. Creep.
They're actually getting quite popular. We actually have a restaurant, like a what we call a dessert bar here now, which is just reopened, and they do the most nicest crepes. Me and my sister went and picked one up the other day, and I had a strawberry, melon, and cashew nut one. Oh wow,
Oh,
the
that sounds
flavours of that was amazing. And my sister, she had like a slightly unhealthy one, but we were both having one. It was just so nice to eat it outside in the fresh air. It's just really nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I think we'll be going back there for sure.
I need to find my ocular lens so I can read out some keto stuff I have. I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh, I have a magnifying glass that'll do.
Sweet. Hey, Howie, before you get into that, I have a question for you. I've been wanting to ask. Do you know anything about wheat germ, and what are your thoughts on it?
Don't do it.
Okay. That's what I thought.
It has undigestible protein called gluten. And if you have celiac or Crohn's or any digestion issue, that gives you a very poor gut biome. If you're going to eat it in very little quantity. It's not your traditional diet.
No, I was just curious your thoughts on it. No, I would never consume it, but I've been seeing a lot of keto recipes with it lately, and I'm like, how is that keto?
It's not keto. It's a high carb. How can it be keto? It's a high carb.
Yeah, I just wanted your opinion on it.
Well, you're very kind. I hope I've answered what your question was.
You did.
Harry answers so many questions. It fascinates me how many questions people ask, and every time you have an answer for it, it's just one of these things.
Yeah.
Well, you're very kind, and your best teacher is your own living spirit. But I'm going to read out this Peak Bio Boost, and it's really serious stuff because that's where all healing starts. And so yeah, a simple, convenient prebiotic fiber which promotes healthy digestion, encourages regular bowel movements, boosts metabolism, and curbs cravings. Promotes a healthy microbiome. Curbs cravings, flavorless, mixes easy. And I can't even read that word. I don't know what it is. Soya-free, gluten-free. You have to stay away from gluten. Gluten is an undigestible protein. Lectins are undigestible proteins as well. And there's a group of them, and they're in our diets. It's not part of keto diet. Keto diet is the mitochondria in the cell. It's the powerhouse of the cell. It's what it makes things happen for the cell to do its job. So what happens is it's taking in sugar in the mitochondria. So what in keto diet and ketogenic diet does is you take away the sugar, so it goes for the carbohydrates to convert to sugar.
Yeah.
But then if you have no carbs, it goes, oh, let's grab those lipids that are on your hips and your back and your belly.
Yeah.
and it starts reducing it. And that's called ketosis. That's called ketosis when that happens. So when that happens and you're consumed a majority of your body fat, then it's looking at nutrients that it can take in, like your phenols and your anthocyanins and your anything that it really wants. I hope I'm saying this all right because there's a lot of information in my brain And I've been scrambled lately because I'm in a little bit of rough shape. So if I'm wrong by any manner or any means, please speak up.
No, you're doing good, Howie.
But what happens with your gut is that you get a bad bacteria in there, and your body will repair itself. It's really an amazing inner inside what you don't see. It's really amazing. And when you start starving the bad guys like mold, yeast, and fungus inside you, you start starving them, and they start going away. Oh my. And then all of a sudden the inflammation starts going away, and then those headaches start going away.
Right.
You have to become intuitive and intuition towards what your body is saying. If you feel like, oh, gee, I'd like to have some salty chips, well, chances are you're running low on potassium.
Right.
Interpretation is what you're craving. So if you're craving dill pickles, well, your blood's a little thick, you know. There's reason. There's reason why your body is going, hey, buddy. And it's your gut has been found in England, in British research, almost over 100 years ago, to be your second brain. Yeah, the English figured it out. I forget his name. I was just reading about it. And everything vibrates at a certain vibration. And if you're eating food that doesn't have a correct vibration, like your traditional diet, then you're off the 528 hertz. You're out of whack. And then your body's not doing what it wants to do because it has these environmental factors. And it's very interesting stuff. I know it sounds like a lot and it's coming on strong, but you kind of glide into the ketogenic way of life and you'll be okay.
Yeah. I've been reading a lot about keto and the whole theory of it since Jess has talked to me about it. And there's quite a few interesting articles that I've been reading with regards to autism and how people on the keto diet have felt better. And it's interesting because there's been a lot of debate on it on the autistic community. Some people are against it. They feel that it's another way of trying to cure us or fix us. A lot of them are like, stop trying to force feed us into diets. It doesn't work, and it's just another cure therapy. And a lot of people who I spoke to do have the keto diet because they find it does actually nutritionally help them. So it's the balance of some people hate it and are against it. Some people are actually loving it. So it just depends on who you speak to.
I think a lot of it is misunderstanding. People don't understand it. People don't understand their body, and they need to connect to their body. Unless they understand how their body works and what nutrition their body needs, they're not going to understand keto. And so people are against it.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I agree 100%. Yeah.
Hey, TH2, thanks for coming in.
And it's like Howie was mentioning about gluten. This is another interesting thing I read about that yesterday. There was an article put up in one of the autistic community forums that I'm part of, and they were saying that stopping autistic people having gluten is a complete insult, and that the fact that it's another way of trying to conform us to society by not eating certain things. I'm just like, hold on a minute. There's either choosing to accept the advice that someone gives you and you try it, or don't jump on the automatic bandwagon and thinking this is just another way of trying to fix people. It's not. It's about health and nutrition. You either try it and see if it works, or you don't. You don't force yourself into doing something you don't think is going to help you. And a lot of the problem is all this gluten and keto things, people are thinking it's an automatic way of just trying to fix us or make us conform to society. And it's like, no, you've got free choice.
Programming. On the programming. There's one thing here that the ARC Wildman Survival says: nuts are high in omega-3, good brain food. Soak your almonds. If you're going to eat almonds, soak them, and keep your walnuts in the refrigerators. And I don't eat cashews. I used to, but I don't anymore. And you're absolutely right by listening to your body, Gemma. You're absolutely all over that. You've done a good bit of learning there.
Yeah.
Listening to your body is everything.
And cashews, so cashews are really high in carbs. That's why.
Yeah, don't eat them.
Yeah, it's
No.
not.
Okay, I guess it's because they've been one of my favourite foods for quite a while, but I'm kind of learning about how to adjust my diet. Like ever since I met you, Harry, I've swapped a lot of different things.
Refrigerate your nuts in the refrigerator in a glass jar. Take them out of that plastic because the plastic's constantly absorbing into the nuts, and it's not BPA-free plastic they're using. And another thing is you get them out of there and you put them in the refrigerator, but almonds should be soaked. And you soak them, but not walnuts. Walnuts should be eaten just a few because they're heavy in oils and they're full of omega-3. But you have to understand that your body is a walking bag of salty water. That's a human being. Okay,
Yeah.
so getting some really good pink Himalayan salt and Celtic sea salt is imperative. And love. You must love yourself and not take on the hate hormones of the world. Even though a person's not there, they leave behind I hate you hormones, sex hormones, love hormones. So you're breathing these and they attach to the wall. Okay.
Yeah.
You're breathing this stuff. And to make that inert so that projection's gone, believe it or not, burning white sage really helps. It gets rid of that bad vibration, bad hormones, or some people think the bad spirit. I mean, it's up to them what they think. But scientifically, you can look at it with science. And what about pecans, Lori Edwards says? Well, I don't know much about pecans, but I know they're high in tannins, which is hard to digest. And TH2 says he freezes it or she freezes their nuts. And that's an excellent thing to do. And Wild Arkman, Ark Wildman, can one grow grapes from cuttings? Yes, that's the best. You cut one off and you put it in the soil and it'll start growing some roots right away. Keep it damp and put a little pressure on it like a stone. And grapes are great for breaking the blood-brain barrier in the brain. You want the nutrients to be able to get to the brain. So in the grapes, gosh, I wish I could remember the term for it. I can't because I'm overwhelmed. I'm on a live stream and my brain just goes so fast. I have a little bit of autism. I'm trying to. When I was a kid, nobody understood me, and I didn't like looking at people. I just couldn't stand to look at people, and I didn't like people looking at me. And years later, I find out that that's autism. That's one of the signs of autism. And I learned that from Mrs. V because I didn't. Now I don't care anymore. Now I've let that pain go. I'm like, no. And I used to harness my defect by hiding, and then I would think, and I would outthink the person, and I would know the answer, but then I usually get clobbered by the person's ego because I'd come and tell them the answer. But that was my autism, and I was on the spectrum. I most likely still am.
Yeah, I get.
I've let go other people's perceptions of me now. I don't care anymore. Since I've been given a death sentence, let's just call it what it is, I just don't care anymore. I just care about loving everyone, but loving myself first.
You are not gonna die. Do not even think.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to live till I'm 86 years old and 4 months. That's what I've been told by someone.
You'll live way past that if I know if you can help it. There, you'll be around for a long time.
I hope to be. I'm tomorrow morning. I start. I go into a facility that I don't want to do these things, but I'm going to have.
You're one of the most strongest people I know, Howie. You've beaten a lot of things in your time, and there's no way you're going anywhere.
Right. You have an army of prayers behind you, Howie.
That works.
This is what I use. Somebody in the chat was asking about psyllium husk.
Yeah, it's good for you. Yeah. It's the fiber that's needed to scrape your inside for the dead cells inside your gut and your colon. It's a good
Yeah.
fiber for that. You know, it's learning is the best part of anyone's day, whether they're autistic or quote
Yeah.
normal. Quote normal.
Yeah, and Howie,
Like I said to you, Harry, before, and to Jess, like I have folders down on the floor in my bag here, and I have different folders for different research ideas, projects that I'm looking into. And like today, I've been working on another video I've been doing, and I research constantly. I have so many different notepads and coloured pens and bits of paper flagged everywhere. Like my bag looks like a multicolored rainbow of all different folders, and yeah, I have to research, otherwise I don't feel like I've
Nice.
done my job properly.
Nice. Juju2407 says to Jess that I've got my keto breakfast sandwich, Jess.
yay!
Arkman Wildman Survival said, yes, I've rooted cuttings through going through a goat poop or something like that. It just slipped by. And the milkmaid says, this is why I no longer have goats. They got out and started to eat things that were off limits. Yeah.
JB was asking Howie, you might be able to answer this question better than me. Is the psyllium husk, is there one that's better than the other?
No, it's all fiber. It's all fiber. It's to scrape your inside of anything dead, like the cell that dies or piece of tissue. It scrapes it as it goes by, and it does a lot of other things too. I'm just touching a very small, something very small, but are any brands better? We're always go with organic, because you're escaping the environmental factor. Because environmental factor, what happens is your myelin, your myelin is scraped off your neurological, and that's a big thing with people with multiple sclerosis and that sort of thing. That your neurological is exposed to toxins in your body. So if you're eating organic, and you're escaping that environment of heavy metals and toxins, then you're going to do a lot better. So always buy organic. Jube 2407. Strange name, eh? Sounds like candy. The milkmaid says, also known as plantain seed. Yes, plantain seed is the best healer that there is. You won't get any better than that. It's plantain is a nurse's best friend, and what it does is it stops the infection. Basically it's an antibiotic. So if you got an infected sore, you mash it up and put it on there. But back in the day, the healer actually put it in their mouth and chewed it and put it on there. Try to be a little more advanced and just mash it up.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there's the food. Woohoo!
I do that with my vitamins that I take every day. I mash them up and take them, so it helps me to swallow them. Otherwise, I can't swallow vitamins for their whole. I have to mash them up.
Mash them up and put them in something. Hey, did you just see that food Jess made?
Yes, I did. That looks super yummy.
I want to go over to her house. Oh, look, the hubby's looking at us talking about his food.
Yeah, it's gone. It's history.
Right on, buddy.
I can give you guys a taste test, I guess. You couldn't wait.
I have television. I'm imagineering the smell-o-vision.
I know. I wish we had smell-o-vision. That would be awesome.
I've actually got a fresh fruit salad in my fridge in my kitchen that I made this morning when I got up. So I'm going to have that for part of my lunch later when my nephew gets around here.
That sounds good too, Gemma.
That's good.
Yeah, I chopped up some strawberries, apples, oranges, and some grapes because my nephew was asking, could he have some more fresh fruit? He comes around here. So I went to the greengrocer yesterday and just grabbed some fresh fruit and chopped it all up. So it's in a big bowl in the kitchen.
It's great to have fresh fruit. Try to pay a little extra if you can for organic, but watch the sugar. There's a lot of high glycemic fruit, like bananas are high glycemic when they're yellow, but when they're green, they have a lower glycemic, and it's the best gut biome there is. There's research paper that just came out. I read about it, but the Arkman survival, the milkmaid plantain is one of my go-to plants. Absolutely, plantain, and it grows as a weed. And it's great. You can wrap it around a steak and cook it even. You can put it in your salad. Try to chop it up. When you chop things up small, you're making it like, you ever see a giraffe and he's like, or a cow?
Yeah.
Well, they're chewing it. They're masticating it to go into your stomach. And you're going to have better digestion. If you're just going, that's not going to do you any good. That's not going to do you any good. When you chew it up, your mitochondria, the nutrients more available for the in the cell. And with keto lifestyle, that's what I like to call it, is keto lifestyle. I just remembered it.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to call it. It's your traditional diet. You didn't come home 100 years ago from McDonald's or Whole Foods. You went out back and you dug up some vegetables, you shot some geese or turkeys or beef or slow elk, whatever you want to call them, and you dragged it home and ate it. And those people, they never had cavities. They didn't have them. And now you have these problems because you're away from your traditional diet. It's a big problem. And I put the plantain weed in a salve for my kiddos. My middle child can't handle Benadryl cream, etc. So much better, and they love it. Juju 24/7, absolutely smart move, making a salve out of it. And then Arkman Wildman Survival says, looks like it passed the taste test, Jess. Jess, hey, 25 times minimum chewing your food to get the absorption. So when you drink water, don't drink water right after you ate your food because you're diluting the nutrients. You're just passing it through waste. You want to keep water away like a minimum half hour away from your food because you're not flushing out minerals. You don't, like in ketogenic diet, you want to include meat, but free range meat as much as possible. And I've got down to now boiling my meat. I actually don't fry it. I do barbecue it a little bit, but I have it down to where I boil my meat now. And there's something stirring in the house I must mute.
For everybody in the chat that's saying that they're going to try this recipe, please do. And when you do, come back to me. Let me know what you think of it. I would love your input and see how you like it. It's a very delicious light breakfast. And for the whipping cream, I put whipping cream on top, or what do you guys call it? Whipped cream, I guess is what
whipped cream,
I just use heavy whipping cream and a teaspoon of stevia and blend that up, and you have your homemade whipped cream.
Without the sugar.
Without the sugar.
I personally don't eat whipped cream. I can't. The texture for me makes me want to be sick, so I don't eat it.
Yeah, I used to have that too. Certain things I just couldn't tolerate, like Brussels sprouts. Now I love them, but I couldn't. I'm like, it's like chewing on a tree. I'm like, no.
You know what? I was able to harvest out of the garden yesterday, Howie.
What'd you get?
Asparagus.
Ooh, that would be first. I harvested yesterday too, and there's a video coming up in about 2 hours of it. And I'm making juice this morning. I'm going live later on, and I harvested lovage leaves and a few things like rosemary and kale, that kind of thing. And I'm juicing this morning with as much as I can from my 0 mile right here. I'm getting as much as I can.
Hey, Sunbell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
First things you get to harvest out of the garden, it seems like they taste the best. I don't know. Maybe it's just the homegrown food I'm in love with, but that asparagus tastes amazing for dinner last night.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have a garden, but I'm very lucky that my uncle has a local allotment down the road from where my apartment is. So I get all fresh grown food from him, and he brings it
Smart.
to my door. So
A box program, if you can get involved with a box program, if you don't have access to growing your own, and someone will bring you a box of veggies once a week.
yeah,
But
I think there's a scheme that I need to look into that can do that. So I'll look into it. My uncle's been growing for wow. I think he's been doing it for at least the last 15 years that I'm aware of. He's got a massive, big allotment plot, and he grows lots of different veggies and fruit and stuff. So
Wow.
yesterday he brought me these big sweet corns, and like they're about this long. I'm like, what the? So I'm gonna give them some dinner.
Juju 2407 is asking a question. Gut biome. Is there a specific feature in a juicer you love? I may be getting one this summer. Please don't suggest $300 option. A masticating juicer, and it has twin gears that go like this, and it crushes and presses the juice and nutrients out. That's what you want. And then the fiber that's left over, you have to put it into like a pancake or a muffin or a bread, because you don't want to go less on the fiber. You want that fiber still. You don't want to just throw it away, even if you have to feed it to your chicken. I mean, try to include it into your diet. And if you're using a masticating juicer, wherever you're living on the planet, try to juice what grows in your locale. If you're juicing something from a southern hemisphere and you live in the northern hemisphere, you're in a lot of trouble, because the stuff from the southern hemisphere's got a lot of sugar in it and a lot more pesticides, a lot more herbicides, and then there's spraying just to come across the border. So I hope that finds you a masticating juicer. The stainless steel one for $2,000 is the best, but I just have the $750 model, but I am looking at upgrading for sure.
Hello, Southern Belle teacher. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, and people, keep your eyes out at yard sales. That's where I got my juicer. So same one as Howie's, but you can find some really good deals if you keep your eyes out.
Secondhand stores, yeah, and go online and use like here. I live in Victoria, BC, so it's Used Victoria, so it's used.com, and you go on there and you can actually leave a message on a message board and get a masticating juicer. And I'm juicing here in about an hour. It's 5:14. I'm juicing about 6 or so, and I'm juicing what I would juice for what ails me as well. So I have a high vitamin C. I'm juicing 5 lemons, 5 limes, because I'm taking some pretty heavy duty medications that's taking out a lot of my vitamin B. So I'm going back on my vitamin B complex that I'm doing. But a juicer and ketogenic diet, go. And what you're putting in the juicer, just think about it as what was available, like dandelions or plantain. That was available back in the day. That's for you. Your gut wants that. Your gut biome wants that. And I found out recently that green bananas are the bomb, man. That's what you want.
Bananas, yucky.
I know, but they're alkalizing when they're green, and then if they're yellow, they're acidic. And paying attention to your body is important, because it's telling you what it needs, but it's also telling you when you see healthy food and go, ew, ew, what you're doing is that's your unhealthy body and unhealthy mind saying that. That's not the healthy body and a healthy mind.
Now I have a question for you, Howie. You're really in tune with your body. I'm really in tune with my body. So when I consume like my kale smoothie, I need to get a video up of that too. I keep telling people I will. But when I consume my kale smoothie, I can actually feel like the vitamins go into my body. It's almost like a rush. Do you feel that when you consume?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You're highly intuitive. You're intuitive, Jess. So you have your spirituality in check. Whether you're Christian or Muslim or whatever, Native American with their culture, whatever it is, shamanism, whatever it is, you're in tune with what you want to show your body love. You're in tune with Jesus. So your living spirit's balanced. So you're intuitive. You can go and say, well, oh, that green banana, hey, that sounds like I'll check that out. Or if it's like if you're looking at cranberries and you got to go pee, well, that ought to tell you something. Your
Yeah.
body, when you hold on to something and it goes, oh, this don't feel good. Like Jess says, ooh, that doesn't feel right. A banana. Well, her body doesn't want that. It doesn't want that.
I used to love bananas, and then I think what I did, when I used to work within the kind of health and social care settings, and I used to have to work. I used to volunteer in a nursery with children, and to get the children to eat their bananas and their fruit at snack time, I had to eat it myself to encourage the children to join in with me. And I used to eat bananas so often. I think I got sick of them. That's why now, if I look at a banana now, I'm just like, I don't want it, because I've eaten them so many years. I just guess I've burnt myself out on them,
Mm-hmm.
because I've had them for children.
Yeah, and I'm curious about the bananas when they're green, since they're not acidic when they're green.
They're alkaline.
Does that mean that the sugar and carb count goes down?
Absolutely.
Huh.
When they're green. When they're green, it goes up because it's ripening, it's fermenting. It's called caramelization. Yeah, when you cook food, that's calcifying the food, okay?
Yeah.
So if you're frying it in an oil, say like canola oil or corn oil or mazola oil, and that's an industrial chemically extracted oil. So you don't want that. If you're going to cook your meat, okay, cook it in some nice avocado oil, olive oil, or even grass-fed butter. Grass-fed butter is really healthy for the ketogenic lifestyle. Keto, I had a name for it. There we go. Yeah, chosen. Smart. You don't want rancid oil going into your mitochondria. You want oils that's part of nature, that's not been modified. You don't want the modification. You have to avoid that, because then sure, it tastes good and yummy, great, and then a half hour later you're like, that's not healthy. No. So you have to be intuitive and listen to your body. But Southern Belle teacher says that yes, green bananas, absolutely. That has what you want for your gut biome to reset it. Absolutely. And that's what happened with the traditional diet, with keto diet. You're resetting. You're resetting each time you go into it. You're resetting, and you have the healthy fats, the healthy lipids. That's what ketogenic means. You're taking in that healthy fat. So when your body's balancing itself out, it's taking the estrogen dominant fat that you've put on your hips and your breast and your belly. It's taking it away. Now, to keep it off, you have to replace it with healthy meats and healthy fats and oils and healthy vegetables and fruits that are low glycemic. When you start eating sugar, that's converted to fat, and it's going to pack it on. And if you're drinking a lot of milk or eating cheese that's not clean, you're getting all that estrogen, and your husband's going, geez, I think you're being really like one of those B words that I never say. I never would, but that's his perception. But he doesn't understand that you're packing on a lot of estrogen, and then if you're getting hungry, the fat's being consumed, so it's going directly to your liver and to your brain. You're going, and you're taking offense to him calling you the B word. So it's just a cycle. It's like two kids fighting over a chocolate bar.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, and hello, Moonface. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. TH2 says his body wants or her body wants sausage. How?
Yes, that there's fats. You're craving fats, and that's normal. That's what you want, but healthy fats, and that's a big thing. Rancid fats make rancid people. Yeah, and liver. Eat liver and eat kidneys. Like, that's really important to eat kidneys. And boiling your meat is number one, because you're stopping the calcification. And that's one of my problems right now is I have a calcified heart. I was cooking a lot of my meat, so I didn't know any better. So I'm learning. So I end up with this new, I have arginine and citrulline. This is $180.
Whoa.
Yeah. So what this is going to do is it's got resveratrol in it, and it's going to lower my blood pressure. And I'm taking a calcium blocker right now because it's just building up on my heart. You see. So I've got a lot of health issues that just nailed me to the ground. But there's one thing that I always liked about my living spirit is God gave me a gift, and it's called a gift of discernment. I can have a discussion about any concern with myself or anyone else.
Well, at the end of the day, our bodies are like you said in the Bible, our bodies are a temple. It's the way we choose to look after them. Like, I'm very self-aware about how to treat myself and how to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can be. And people say, "Oh, well, you're not healthy because you're autistic," and I'm like, "No, that's got nothing to do with my health. Yes, it's a medical condition I deal with. Yes, that's to do with my brain up here and how I communicate. It's not to do with physically how I am. It's got nothing to do with it." And
Yeah,
people will try and dictate that to me. I'm like, shut up.
yeah, it can be a problem. Could I read this out?
Sure.
It's about what this is, and it's called Arginine Miracle, and is a unique, brand new formulation, 28 years in the making, the only natural nitric acid. Can you believe that? Nitric acid only lasts half second in the body, hey? And remedy to reduce high blood pressure and cholesterol, representing the latest science in the third generation of L-arginine heart health supplement. Arginine Miracle Formula is the direct result of research and studies by leading field experts and scientists conducted by world-renowned universities. Not only does it help to lower blood pressure, it also addresses the top 4 underlying issues linked to aging, cardiovascular health. For more information, visit www.argininmiracle.com. And it's an extract from beets, and I'll read the ingredients, and it'll take one more second. And it's L-arginine, L-citrulline, malate, artichoke leaf extract, red beet root powder, and milk thistle, organic, and hawthorn berry fruit. And this is the stuff. It's $180. This is a 3-month supply, and I've actually done a great deal of research, and I know someone personally that has used it for 20 years.
Wow.
And she's 80 years old, and she jogs down the road, boys and girls. And she hikes through the Southern Gulf Islands. She just did a hike, got injured, major gash on her leg, made it back to her boat, made it home. And she's 80 years old, and she travels the world still. Like, we all work to retire to travel the world. She's been doing it all her life. She has Norwegian stock in her, and she's a very tall lady, but she's just hitting 80 now. She just jogged to my house, and she comes over and she checks on me. Hey,
That's amazing.
And, she's an orthomolecular scientist. She's a registered nutritionist, a live cell analyst, and I've been friends with her for a very long time. I used to grow her food for her, and now her husband does that. And she's been keeping him alive. He had leukemia for many years, like past 15 years, like stage 3 and 4, hey. And she's been keeping him alive, hey. And now she came and got a bunch of my cannabis, her son did, and they wanted indica. So I said, oh, here. And they're like, how much? I said, no. I said, I don't sell cannabis. So this is free. And it's like a large block of cannabis. And they're paying $1,500 for 1 ounce of extraction. And I said, I don't want any money. This came out of the food forest. We have 9 food forests. I said, no, this isn't about money. This is about health. So I get daily reports on this. They put they extracted the extract from the indica, and they put it on the lesion that surfaced of the leukemia surfaced, and it's down by like 80%, and just 4 or 5 weeks of using it.
Wow.
And I'm not a doctor. I'm just grow food and herbs, and if someone wants to use them, that's their business. I didn't promote it, and I didn't accept any money, and I wouldn't. I don't need money anyway, but I try to let that possessionistic part of my ego go, so I have more love, because not everything you can buy with money, and one of them is love. You can't buy it. You have to earn that.
I don't think you have to necessarily have to worry about ego, Howie. Like you
Everybody
are.
does. Everyone
But from
does.
my perspective of how I see you is the fact that you, to me, and the same with Jess, like there's no ego, there's no like, oh look at me, I'm this big person. Like you've never come
That's
across
part
that
of
way
get
to
over
me.
yourself. That's another ego. But the ego, when you lose ego, it's actually words that you use, and it goes, "I own this." Okay,
Yeah.
I is the ego. You learn that when you go to kindergarten. When you go to kindergarten, these are your crayons. That's another ego. This is mine. These are all egoic mind thought form patterns off the left side of the brain. Well, what's on the right side of the brain is called creative mind. Okay, and that is okay. This magnifying glass is everyone's to share.
Yeah.
These crayons are for everyone. And when you're in kindergarten, first thing you're taught, this desk is yours. No. Now is put all the children in a circle, sit them down, give out all the crayons, and they all share. Then that way you let go of possessionistic ego. And there's a book called The Power of Now. And that's how I learned this. And what it is pain bodies you hang on to. And it's interesting hanging on to a pain body. My niece just let go of one. And her pain body was, I have to make the mortgage payment. I have to go see sick mom. I have to go see my brother Bob. I got to do this. I got to do that. And that's like, slow down. Let it all go.
It's burnout. I've done that in the past. You get so overstressed with things, and you think you have to do certain things by a certain time, and you don't. I've learned that it's okay not to go and do things that are planned during the day. Like if I want to go and see a friend, I think actually no, I don't need to. I'm not going to put that extra strain on myself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Laureen Edwards says she has high blood pressure and neuropathy. And so I take about 7 meds. It sucks. All starts with the gut biome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go back to your traditional diet of meat, fish, and veggies. Yeah. Just go right back to it. Try not to cook as much. Try to boil it because you want to avoid the calcification. But definitely throw it on the Barbie once in a while and charcoal it up.
Yeah.
Because you want that.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you want that charcoal because the charcoal it helps take out toxins. So you want a little crispy meat on the barbecue. You don't want to fry it so much. But if you're frying it, that's that's what you got to do to kill bacteria or whatever. But traditionally, you put it in a pot and you boiled it. That's if you read the old memoirs of settlers and homesteaders, they put it in a pot and boiled it. And that took out the minerals. So when you drank it, it became soluble, you see. And they didn't have a doctor. And of course, they didn't live that long, a lot of people, because you're looking at people that only lived 25 to 35 years. Well, the problem was that nobody knew about bacteria if you were eating bad bacteria.
Yeah.
But the person that boiled their food, you look at people that were born in Sicily, in Italy, or in Japan, they live 100 to 110 years. Why? Because they eat their raw vegetables and they have their meats boiled, and they don't eat the enriched flour. I mean, if you start eating enriched flour, you're driving up your iron levels, and then your cells are running around going, "Hey, we don't know what to do." The big thing is, like what we were talking about at the beginning of this broadcast, was electrolytes. That's the communication. That's the positively charged minerals that conduct communication between your 1 billion communiques daily. 1 billion in your inside your body. Now, this isn't a study that I did. I'm just reading from experts and being a parrot, but I have to be intuitive to help save myself. And that's why I'm on here today, to show the love for looking after your own living spirit, and don't damage anyone else's living spirit with BS. And if you don't know what you're talking about, don't open your mouth. Just keep it
If
closed.
you don't know what you're saying, keep it zipped.
Yeah. And there's an old saying Mrs. V taught me, was give it a kiss. Keep it simple, silly. Used to have the word stupid there, but she took it out. She goes, that's wrong. She's a really nice lady from my church, and she takes good care of me always. She's the one that's found me twice now where I couldn't get up. And she was a true godsend. But you're the host here, so I gotta be quiet.
No, you're doing good. I'm enjoying. I'm learning. I like picking your brain and getting your side and your
You could be
thoughts.
lying. There's not much in there.
Yeah, right. You hold so much information in that brain. I'm like, wow.
Well, it's part of love.
Yeah.
Love. And I learned that from Dan, Permaculture Food Forest. I mean, I knew about love, but there's only one kind of love. There's not two kinds of love. Well, there is, you're in love with your wife or your husband, and that's different. But there's only one love for every human being on the planet. There's only one love. So when Dan gets up in the morning, I watch him diligently whenever he puts out a video. First thing he does, he says his prayers, and he does a little cleanse, and he makes the food, and he does a jog. First, he goes for his jog to get his body going, and then he makes his food for his two little girls. He calls them his heartbeats. He's a really cool guy, hey. And Dan Permaculture Food Forest. He's been an influence with one love, and that's the good vibration, is that one love. There isn't two loves. There's not love for this black man. There's not love for this white man. There's not love for this red man. There's not love for this yellow man. It's just one love. And if you can get that one love, your body goes at the right vibration. It's like, yes, love. Love always wins. Love conquers all. That's why Jesus, he didn't step over someone down on the ground. He stopped.
Yeah.
Well, someone was hungry. He didn't say, you got $1.25. He didn't do that. He just said, here you go. He fed everybody. And
Love
love.
is a different love can be a different emotion though, because there's many different factors of what love is.
Well, that's hormonal.
A lot of different people. Like for people like me, people will say to me, oh well, because part of your communication disorder is you don't know what your emotions are. For me, there's many types of love. So there's love I have for my online family, there's love I have for my family here, and there's love I have for my friends. But in between that, there's the relationships of who I trust and who I communicate with in the professional sense. So there's that boundary of what love do I show to what person, because there's the boundary of communication that gets crossed a lot, because sometimes you don't know which one's appropriate.
I'm glad you said that, Gemma, because that just tells you that if you look at Jesus, he showed love to all. You don't separate your love. You show everybody love, and he's the greatest example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Heritage.
Quebec Homestead just came in, Mallory. I just
Hello,
watched
Mallory.
her carrot extractions there that she did. Those overwintered in the ground in northern Canada. She was very successful. She was very surprised that she was picking them with her family. And I just watched her latest video. I just wanted to mention that I like the extraction of the carrots that overwintered through that ice and snow and 20 below. And, the carrots survived. So it was kind of cool. She's an amazing farmer and a homesteader and an amazing human being. I just wanted to shout her out.
That's awesome. Thank you. I want to tell Ark Wildman goodbye and thanks for hanging out with us.
He's going to sleep for a while.
Yeah, he's going to go cuddle.
Yeah. It's called it snuggling or something like that.
Yeah.
Snuggle. What a sweetheart.
Right.
I love people that are sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're one of the most sweetest people I know, Howie. Like you're
thank you kindly. You are too as well. You're my hero. So you fight all the way, Gemma. You really
Oh yeah, I
do.
have to, because it's like you said, education and understanding. Because once you tell someone something, and they can go away and figure that out and research it. Because I know some people come back to me and go, "Oh, you're so blunt on your videos, Gemma." Like, I'm like, yeah, because I don't need the
It
BS.
is
I
what
don't
it
need
is.
to tell people the BS. I want facts, straight to the point. This is what you need to do.
Mhm.
Here's the link. Go and do it for yourself,
No
and then come
BS.
back to me if you want to try and debate it. But a lot of people are like, why are you so
Love
blunt?
it.
I'm like, because that's just me. I am a blunt person.
God made you, and yeah, I love you. So, and everybody else loves you. So you keep doing what you're doing. What you're doing is you're taking stereotypical views, and you're taking that dogma away and saying, "Hey, I'm normal. You're the one that's abnormal because you want me
Yeah.
like you." And
Yeah.
I adore that. That's exactly how I look at myself. I don't want to be like someone else. I want to be me.
The
I don't,
normal doesn't exist, and that annoys me when people throw the label at people and they say, well, you appear to be so normal, and I'm like, there's
that's
no
selfish. They're
normal.
selfish.
That it's ridiculous.
They're selfish people. They're narcissistic. It's as simple as that. They believe the universe revolves around them. Well, it bloody well don't. Sorry, I don't mean to swear.
No,
Oh,
no
that's
one's
not a
normal.
swear
It's like
word.
everyone has their quirks and their things that are different about them. And yes, I'm quite expressive. I'm quite blunt and direct with what I say. And people go, "Oh, Gemma, maybe you should try and like cut it out a little bit or stop being so blunt." And I'm like, but why would you want to fix my personality? That's who I am. I can't help the way that I am, and I'm not going to change for no one because I've built myself up this far. Why am I going to stop myself?
Exactly.
I love
So
that about you, Gemma.
Yeah. When
I'm not going to let people tell me what to do.
Yeah.
I first meet people, it's either I love them right away or I love them anyway, but I might not like what they do, or I definitely like what they do. That's my evaluation. And everybody on this screen and most of the people in this chat, I loved right away and I liked them right away. If I don't like what you're doing, it's not that I don't like the person. I just don't like what you're doing. So I'll try to help you. And then if you
Yeah.
don't want any help, well, then I can't help you. You have to help yourself. And that's part of Gemma being Gemma. She's showing the love. And this is what's not right. And she's not saying that's wrong. She's saying that this isn't right to judge. You have to accept everybody for who they are.
It's
And
like
that's
I go by the Bible standards. It's like how do I have the right to judge someone when I'm the one casting the first stone? So if I judge someone else, I had to go back to myself and go, hold on, Gemma, you've just gone and said this to this person. You've hurt them. Think about yourself first. Like judge yourself. So everything that I do, my videos, my streams, I judge myself first before I have any chance of judging anyone else. And not that I want to, because one of the day, if Jesus loves me for who I am and I'm meant to love people in his image, then I have to, because if I don't, then I'm going to look a hypocrite. So I don't want to be horrible to people. It's not what I'm about.
love. It's one love. One love. That's all it comes down to. And you'll be attacked when you have one love. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I've been through the ringer several times.
Yeah, because they don't know they're here. You see? They don't know they're here, and and that's the problem with a lot of living spirits. They don't know who they are. They don't know they're here. So when you rub up against them, it's like a chalkboard. It's like, I don't feel good about being around you. It's because they don't know they're here, and you do. It's like they're low on negative ions, or they're low on nutrients, or they've been damaged. Their living spirit's been damaged by another human, and they're a bully. In autistic world, are you saying goodbye to the hubby?
The
Goodbye, hubby.
milkmaid is leaving, so
Oh,
Hi, milkmaid.
goodbye, milkmaid. It's one love. and it's no other love. That's all you got to remember. One singular love. And that's hard to accept. It's hard to accept because when a bully comes to you, you don't want to love that bully. You want to say, get lost, I don't like you, and these are some choice words for you. And the bully doesn't know any better because they want to see you lower than them. And that's and Mrs. V taught me that. It takes no talent to hurt and kill people. It takes real talent to be good, love, and heal people. That's talent.
Yes.
That's real talent.
It's just about appreciating people and respecting them for what they do. Like having the good people around you and healthy people who are actually going to support you and believe in what you do and what you stand for, the better chance you are at being successful. And I think being around Jess and you, Howie, and several people who I talk to, it's showing that my personality is coming through more. I'm able to be more myself, whereas in the past I had to put my defenses up because I'm like, are these people going to hurt me? So I automatically thought, well, if I say something and they go, well, Gemma, hold on a minute, I'm like, phew, my defense goes up. Whereas now I'm more relaxed because I'm like, oh, these people understand me, they get me, they're not going to make me feel stupid.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what people need to realize is to surround themselves with loving, caring people that are going to boost them and not tear them down. And I agree, being around you and Howie and many others in the chat is really a big confidence boost of love.
Definitely. It's like I've changed, my personality's come along of tens of thousands, like since I met you, Jess, and Howie. And I remember when I first met Howie, I was very insecure. I was very nervous. I was very triggered by a lot of people. And now I'm like, you either like me or you don't. I'm not going to conform to what people expect me to be, this woohoo person all the time, because it's not reality. There's days where I'm not woohoo. So it's kind of, yeah.
Bye, Quebec Homestead. Happy planting.
Bye. Yeah, you guys, I had an amazing time on this live. This was awesome. I'm actually going to have to get off and get a couple things done before Howie goes live. So everybody in the chat, if you would. Howie, what time are you going live?
About 30 minutes.
Okay. If you don't know Howie, it's Food Forest Permaculture, and he is going live. So please head over to him and support him, show him the love, and check out Gemma's channel too. Gemma's amazing.
Gemma's Journey Grace.
Yeah.
My hero. Bye, guys.
So
thanks for having me here, Jeff. Bye, Gemma.
Bye, Howie.
Thanks for coming up. Bye.
Thank you for having me, Jess.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming up, Gemma. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody in the chat. I just want to tell you, I hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe, and we'll see you all soon. And I can't wait to see you over at Howie's at the Food Forest Permaculture. We'll see you later.